So the Buffers Alley team coming up to receive their trophy here, Captain Pat Kenny, and they're very jubilant here. They're calling, I think, for Tony Dorn to come up as well. Well, Tony's he's down there all right, and Mick Butler.
Hello, Michael. You had him.
Their names are against the wind, and today they take the last time through the Buffers Alley to a world champion. So, on behalf of the players, I wish them all the best in putting Ireland politics. And now I want to congratulate the end result of the Captain Pat Kenny.
Ladies and gentlemen, gives me great pleasure to accept this cup on behalf of the Buffers Alley team. In doing so, I'd like to thank our trainer, Father Jim Butler, for preparing us for today's game, for selecting most of all you, our supporters. I'd also like to thank Shamrocks for a very hard sporting game. And I'd like to now give them 3 cheers. Hip hip!
That have been presented there to Pat Kenny, the Buffers Alley captain. I have with me here Tony Dorn, that contributed so much that when he's signing an autograph at the moment. Tony, first of all, I was just holding on there for Tony. He's still signing autographs here, but as I said, a great win by Buffers Alley here in this Leinster Club final, and now I have Tony, a great win by Buffers Alley. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on a good performance again by yourself and by Buffers Alley.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, a typical Kilkenny-Wexford game, Tony, today against
very good. Kilkenny-Wexford game, very hard the whole time, but we're glad to be at the right end of it anyhow for a change.
Well, of course, coming into the game, the Shamrocks were on paper, they were fancied maybe that they would win this game, but I saw you hurl, I think, the Offaly champions in the semi-final, and you played well on that occasion, but I thought you were after stepping up your performance a lot more today in the final.
We knew we'd have to step it up a bit to be in the hunt with the Shamrocks, so we're glad we did.
And especially with the wind, you had to pick off your scores that you did in the first half.
Yeah, scores well in the first half, and that counted when it came to the
And I think probably maybe that Tony Dorn goal was, in the end, it was a decisive goal, Tony. There was only...
I don't know, there wasn't, I'm sure.
And of course, Mick Butler had a great... Mick was very good in frees today.
Great points.
Okay, Tony, we won't be holding you in the cold. We'll let you off to tug in. Best of luck in the semi-final, Tony. Thanks very much. Well, outside the Jewelton Buffers Alley dressing room on this very cold winter's evening, and nobody intending to leave to go home yet, I have with me here the trainer of the Buffers Alley team, Father Butler. Father, first of all, congratulations on your win today.
Thanks, Ger, very much. Thank you.
A very typical Kilkenny Wexford style hurling with Buffers Alley and Shamrocks. They're very tough and very tense from the word go.
Yes, typical, as you say, Kilkenny Wexford clash, uncompromising and very little given or taken, I suppose, in sporting manner, and that's what it's all about, and we're glad to see that.
Well, of course, the wind played a major part in it today. Of course, you played with the breeze and you really set the foundation, especially Mick Butler. He missed very little from frees or 65s, and then Tony Dorn's goal. You were really on on the high road at half time, but against the breeze and against the Shamrocks and the penalties, anything could have happened.
Yeah, as Micheál Murray could say, I suppose it was a game of two halves, and we expected that, with the wind, strong breeze, half time, you'd know it was going to be after any hurling you do with the wind. And I think, just like as you say, the freeze played a big part in it, and both sides, I'd say. Shamrocks got back in by freeze as well in the second half, and it was that kind of a game, and that's the sort of a game we expected,
Well, as you said, Father, a very sporting game, and of course that's what it's all about at the end of the day, no matter who wins or loses.
Yeah, very sporting, and Kilkenny and Wexford generally have a great respect for each other, I think, whether it's club or county, and that was shown again today there, I think.
And I think it's great to see the like of Tony Dorn, I think, winning an All-Ireland back in '68, and to see him hurling as good as ever again today for
It is. There's no tribute that I could pay, I think, that would do justice to Tony Dorn. I said already this year that we'd never had one before and we'll never have one again. I'd say hurling will never have one again either,
And indeed, another man that caught my eye there was Mick Butler. Mick, another great day for Mick as also.
That's right. He's a couple of years on Tony still, believe it or not, but he's still going strong, I think, and he always has. And he means as much to him to win today, I think, as it did 20 years ago, and that's the main thing.
Well, I think, Father, I said in my commentary there during the first half that you were really on top at midfield. Eamon Sinnott was having a great game, and Sean Whelan, they were really dominant there in the first half.
Yeah, and Eamon Sinnott is a great chap. I mean, another statistic is, I suppose, that he's exactly half Tony's age, and he's the youngest man on the team, and he's 21, and he's really fitted in there, and he's all heart, and he's great intelligence, and he makes up for everything else for that,
Well, Father, I know you're looking forward to the Christmas break now, and you'll be back in the semi-final. I presume it's the Northern Champions. You'll have a home venue with that one, I think.
There's a little dispute, I think, over who it is, but it should be, I think, on the law of averages, it should be the Northern Champions, and we travelled last time, and Rathnure travelled last year, so we expect a home venue, yeah.
And of course, you'll be looking forward to the All-Ireland Club final. I remember the last time you were beaten by a few points, and maybe unlucky by the Tipperary champions Kilruane, and you'll be hoping maybe to go the whole way this year.
Yeah, we were beaten by 2 points that year, and it was a great effort was put into it, and the lads were very disappointed. They found it hard at that time, I'd say, to see their way back with the team aging and one thing or another, but they're halfway back now, I think, and with Kilkenny out of the way, it's a good onus,
Well, okay, Father, the best of luck in the All-Ireland semi-final, and we hope you do well after Christmas, and thanks very much for coming along here.
Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you. Story of the Leinster Club hurling final here outside the Buffers Alley dressing room. The scoreline, of course, 1 goal and 12 to 1 goal and 9, and the Alley winning their second Leinster Club hurling final here in a very exciting sporting game played at Dr. Cullen Park, Carlow. So until the new year, we'll be back probably with the story of that semi-final. If it's the Northern Champions, it'll be down, of course, in Rathnure, it'll be down in Buffers Alley down in Wexford. So until the new year, it's goodbye and God bless. Thank you.